Good evening. So we are back again. Discover Design is here with you today, brought by JS Institute of Design. And it's Thursday once again, 4 o'clock. We have got a very interesting topic for all of you. So I'd like to welcome all of you to our webinar session on bathroom design, luxury in details. My name is Nain Xiao. I'm the Dean at JS Institute of Design. And today I put together a very interesting panel who's going to talk about bathrooms, the fixtures, the accessories, and what all changes have happened in bathrooms, the evolution that has brought about a completely different look to the bathrooms. So let me introduce the panel, a very short introduction before we go on to. So we have with us Mr. Ajay Mahajan.
Very good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. The Global Head and Customer Care for Jaguar and Company Private Limited. 2 lines on him. He's the electrical engineer and customer care professional with 37 years experience. That's quite a lot. Wow. In industrial, consumer durables, BPO, telecom, and building industry. He's been associated with Jaguar for the last 10 years. And prior to this, he worked with LG, Electrolux, Whirlpool, TVS Electronics, and Haier Telecom. So welcome, Mr. Mahajan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next speaker would be Sandeep Katare. He is also with Jaguar and Company Private Limited in the role of Operational Manager, International Business Customer Care. He's done his bachelor's in engineering production and MBA in marketing and finance. He's had 14 years of experience in customer care with automobile and building material industry. He's been associated with Jaguar for the last 11 years and is presently leading the customer care operations for international markets. So welcome, Sandeep. Our third guest today on the session is architect Lily Kant Chadda. She is an architect with 11 years of experience, graduated from TVB School of Architecture. She has worked in various residential, institutional, and exhibition projects, along with coveted firms like Arcop, JP, and Urbanscapes Architects. Lily also has expansive experience in education, and right now she is devoting her full time to education in interior design. And she's associated with JS Institute of Design since the last 2 years. So welcome, Lily.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Meantime, before we begin, I'm going to just announce to the rest, to the participants, please participate in whatever we are showing you. Have your questions ready. Anything that you want to get clarified, have your questions, and we will be answering them at the end of the session. We promise to answer as many questions as possible, but of course, if we have many, many more beyond that, I would request our speakers today to take out a little time later on to answer those ones which are left behind. So let us begin the session. To begin with, a few things about what's been happening to the industry in interior design. I mean, let's look at the bathroom side of the interiors. We all probably have talked a lot and perhaps projected a lot about the rest of the interior spaces, whether they are in the personal residences or institutional or public spaces. But what I know, or what I've read a little bit about bathrooms is till 1927, which is perhaps just a few hundred years ago, there weren't many bathrooms in the parts of the, even in the developed parts of the world. It seems there were only 1 bathroom per 500 homes. That's quite a lot. And then the government pitched in by having, you know, they would put up the bath houses for the public, which were of course earlier known to be we could see them in Roman history. We have heard of Turkish baths, the Russian baths, and perhaps many other countries in Japan, all these were very commonly known. So how did this evolve? I'm going to put the question to Lily ma'am to begin with. So Lily, tell us about how did this bathing experience evolve, or what was it like earlier?
Right. Basically, if we talk about the bathing experience, we have seen that around in excavations that have been found out in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, it revealed that a highly developed drainage system where water from bathrooms as well as toilets in each house flowed into the main sewer through a drain pipe passing under each house. We can also see in the visual that is there was also a system of the great baths. Now these great baths were basically formed for a public bathing, and it was near the temple. So even if we go back to the history, we see that the Roman baths as well as the great bath at Indus Valley both had religious significance. So people used to come to the temple, and meanwhile, side by side, they used to enjoy. Of course, they started enjoying it later, and they started um, associating it with healing properties. But yes, it was firstly known that this process of bathing purifies them. So of course, when we go on further, we know that the Harappan civilization, it of course it was dissolved, and then we see that Aryans came into India. So Aryans were comparatively nomads, and they did not bring about much changes. But we know that Mughals came in, and at that time they realized that their women do not need to defecate, and they need private bathrooms. So why I'm mentioning this is that the privacy of the bathrooms, privacy of having your own space in bathrooms came about around in the Mughal era in India.
Right.
Also, talking parallelly about Europe, there was, of course, as I told you, the Roman baths that were public, bathing areas. The plumbing system did not come about till around 1900s. So this was the time when the two world wars also happened. But around 1920s, plumbing systems started coming in place. So this is the time when people started actually having bathrooms to themselves, when public drainage systems properly started happening again. We also see a development of the recognition of, as I said, privacy again in 1950s, when we take the example of the Farnsworth House by Mies van der Rohe. The house was having a glass facade, but in between the bathroom had a private, it had an opaque wall. So we do realize that the whole house was designed in a way to give the luxury of experiencing the nature. But the idea of having a private and then a luxury bathroom also evolved in 1960s. So these are the times that we're talking about that, and now we've totally gone on to a different luxury aspect of owning a bathroom.
Right. Well, that was a big history in a very short period of time. I'm sure we can have a very long discussion on this over
Sure, that's a web. It's going to be a different webinar in
over
itself.
a cup of tea someday, or perhaps over a period of sauna bath. We will talk about sauna a little later. But to say very clearly, it seems that the whole story of bathing experience changed in 1960s, and that was what was pointed out to me, that perhaps it was the pop culture which increasingly brought about focus on pleasure. Bathing was really a function of hygiene, a very practical function in our daily human activity. And but it was around this period that bathrooms were being talked about, a place of experience and unique experiences, perhaps very personal individual experiences. But to aid that and to help in getting that experience, I'm going to bring forward certain experts to talk to us about what changes had happened. But let me just point out what those few changes that I know of, such as there was bathtubs or sunken baths, bidets, and carpets or wardrobes being built into the bathrooms and very fancy wallpaper being put up, cabinets being put up in the bathroom. I mean, it was like a whole room by itself. So I will invite Mr. Mahajan, who can perhaps give us an idea of what was this modern bathroom fixtures or accessories. And I know you deal with many of them, but could you give us an idea about it?
See, when we talk about modern bathrooms, let's understand one thing for sure. Bathing used to happen, even the birds do bathe, and even the animals do bathe. But gradually, when we talk about human beings, they don't look forward bathing as bathing alone. They look forward for relaxation. They look forward for peace of mind. They look forward for talking to yourself. So that is the experience they want to have. So the modern bathing accessories precisely start delivering all those definitions which a human being expect. And good part of human being is the expectation never ends. So evaluation of bath accessories will keep happening. It is happening. So we are going to share a series of such evolutions, which are different, which are satisfying your soul as well as your eye, your feel and everything. So we start with the first one. So Sandeep, Mr. Sandeep will explain, and I'll keep pitching in between. Sandeep, we start with the tiara, the first one. Yeah, please, Sandeep.
Yeah. Now, if to continue with the same, like modern designs. See, this the picture which is there in front of you. It shows like a jewel. You know, one ring which is there inside another ring, but still the water is coming out. So we will be showing the video of the same as to how this thing is. In this is basically a basin mixer. So you can have a cold water as well as a hot water, but it is done with operating the center eye in this in the center oval which is there. So if we can have that video on.
Can you ask Dakshita maybe? Or you have to switch on. Switch on the video.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Basically, when we say modern, so in this, it is not a regular internal working mechanism what we see in the faucets what we have currently. These are specially designed cartridges which are called as progressive cartridge in today's modern world. These are not a regular single lever or quarter turn or full turn type cartridge. These are progressive cartridges wherein both hot and cold are getting mixed at the center and water flows out. Yeah.
Tiara by Artis.
The idea was to try and be very immersive with design and not make things obvious. The tiara is designed like a piece of jewelry. The way the lever is designed is actually embedded into the inner loop. The association to jewelry really came from the whole thought of craftsmanship in metal. there is a consistent aesthetic for the entire bathroom. A complete ensemble that carries Tiara's silhouette across other fixtures. That's why the Tiara is unique.
Tiara by Artis.
So it is a unique design wherein it gives a different aesthetics to a bathroom with a modern design in or modern designs on the cartridges. Of course, your you don't need any special plumbing or any special accessories for that. It goes along with the regular plumbing lines what we do for our regular faucets. So this is the first design. Yeah, the second slide, we'll move on to the second slide. So this is a tailwater. Again, a craftsmanship wherein the design was picked up in terms of a pigeon. You know, it is more of a pigeon drinking a water from a bucket, from a bowl of a water, bucket water. In this, if you see again, this is a mixer. The operation of this is by rotating the tail. We will have that thing on the video which will be coming up.
It's not coming up. Sandeep, we are not coming. I'll just
Yes.
brief. The designer who designed, she's an Italian over there. She was sitting next to the swimming pool. No, she was watching from her hotel window, the swimming pool, and early morning she saw the pigeon coming and taking water from the swimming pool. And that moment she decided that I'll make a faucet, which will be something like that. And from there, the evolution of this tailwater started. And in terms of operation of this, of course, it's a hot and cold water mixture faucet. Can be fitted in any normal plumbing lines, no special. The beauty is you turn the tail, you turn leftwards, you get hot water, you turn rightwards, you get cold water, you turn backwards, the flow changes. So that's the beauty of that. And from the mouth of this tailwater, rather if you look at the mouth where the beak precisely is, the water oozes out. That's tailwater. Yes, Sandeep, please carry on.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. We'll go to the next slide. Okay. Now this is again.
Sandeep, you take the technique. See, this is the concept of this particular product evolved from bamboo. Just for knowledge of people who are here, before these modern pipes evolved long ago, I'll not be able to see which BC or which AD. The bamboos were used as pipes
Yes.
for taking the water from one place to other. That was the concept at some point of time. And the bamboos are made hollow, and they were actually used for as pipes. So this was a background for making this product. So if you look at the place on the right hand side on your screen, the semicircle portion or the half cylinder from where the water is coming out, it is basically a half cut bamboo. Yes, Sandeep, you can take it from here, please.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Sandeep,
Yeah.
while you're going on, may I request Mr. Mahajan to please switch on your video because you're not visible. We'd really
Yeah,
like.
I know there is a technical conflict in my computer.
Okay.
Because there are 3 different versions,
Okay.
Zoom web and this thing. So
All
they are
right.
conflicting with it.
So
I'm
that's
not able.
fine. If it is possible, please do. Otherwise, meantime, I'm going to check with Mr. Sandeep on the 3 of these products that you've shown us. I know there's another one coming up soon, but before we do that, I do want to comment on the design of the products, which I think is really enabling a lot of young design. I would say the modern designers to
True.
try out their ideas. And I think that's something fantastic in terms of you as an organization, and I'm sure perhaps there are many other similar bathroom fixtures, accessories organizations who are looking at, product ideas and and tailoring your technicalities around that.
Great, thank
so
you.
please do show us some more.
I would also like to add, if I may. As far as the designs go, we are also seeing that the designs are pertaining to the sereneness and the disconnect that is required in wellness bathrooms these days. So
True.
there are these wellness zones that we'll talk about later, of course. But
Yeah.
these wellness zones basically, they declutter our mind. And nowadays, bathrooms are those spaces where the health and mind of the user, in this fast-paced lifestyle, it needs to be relaxed. So these, designs of the faucets do, pertain to that, and they do signify how serene a bathroom can be.
True. Great.
Right.
Very
So
right.
before you move on, I have a question on biomorphic. Mr. Mahajan, is it possible,
Yeah.
and Sandeep,
Yeah.
is it ever possible that you use these natural materials like traditionally the bamboo was used? Is it possible that even in these modern times, you work out your fixtures or accessories to use these natural materials as they are found, and perhaps redefine it, modify it to fit into a modern bathroom, but which can be replaced. It has to be replaced, I guess,
Yeah.
and find a way to use it, because I can imagine that experience being perhaps unique and very original and much more closer to nature. So if
Yeah.
you have such ideas or thoughts about it, do let us know.
I'll use an analogy for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the young, the new generation may not have ever experienced it, but of course, during our younger times, when we used to go to village, we used to have bath in the pond and the mud and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go to resort, they give you specialized mud bath. So people do come back to nature. And you're a design institute, so fashion turns back every 10 years.
So we do want to urge you to think about it, because I'm very sure many designers would love to work on that.
True. For sure, I can bet upon.
Yes.
Wait and watch. For sure, there'll be natural materials.
Yes.
Inside, you may find some Teflon coating running, taking the water. But outside, you may find our earthenware or a bamboo, or maybe some jute or something. It will happen. Organic. You go to organic, you pay higher for pulses because people are ready to accept. So that's going to happen. Wait and watch. And more the pollution grows, more the organic it will happen. I'll put that.
That sounds extremely exciting.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Sandeep. We can move on to the next slide.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is linear.
Mm-hmm.
Before Mr. Sandeep explains it, and because it's kind of a pride product for Jacqua, this is the most awarded product of what is designed by Jacqua Group. Please, Sandeep, you start off from here, please. Most welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In this, if you see again, it's purely a minimalistic, a very rectangle type, and the water passage. If you see this video when it's on, you will you'll imagine how the things are going to happen, like how the water is going to come from the center of the pivot and moving out from the spout. These are the designs what it is. And accordingly, as we see, and now we are on the third design, every design has its own different and unique operating systems. So basis, you design the external, the internal changes. Mm-hmm. And today, with modern technology, it's very much viable to make these internal cartridges suit the external modern designs, right? Now, again, if you see, this is a pride for Jacqua, because this has been designed by one of our directors, right? Mr. Parichay Mehra. He has designed this. The uniqueness of this is you operate the lever, the spout. It starts the water starts flowing at 10 degrees, right?
Okay.
You bring it to 90 degrees, you will get cold water
Right.
mixed with hot water. And as you increase from 90 degrees to 120 degrees, you'll start getting hot water. There is no separate lever for it.
Right.
It is the same spout. You rotate it on the left hand side, you'll start getting warm water. You rotate it on the right hand side, you'll start getting cold water.
Right.
That is the new design and technology that has been used in these faucets. Yeah, can we just
So
have
can
that
we have the video,
video on?
please?
Yeah. Now it is from this point the water will start. The blue line indicates cold water. The red line indicates hot water. So it will give you a mixed water. Wherever you feel like the temperature you want, you can stop the spout over there, use it, and then put it back again. And it will stop and then it closes.
Fantastic. Congratulations to
Thank you.
Jaguar. And it really is so simple, and yet so sophisticated. I'm wondering whether to have a little bit of your insight, since you've been
Introducing Fleur from Arties.
See, there is one point to worth mentioning
There's
here.
a seamless flow of water.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's one point worth mentioning here. Though this the spout acts as a handle and the mixer also. So if we talk about in general term, I hold it from one position to other. The water temperature changes. So once the water temperature changes, let's say we get up to the hottest scale, the hand will burn because it's a very, very hot water. But beauty is whatever the temperature of water, the outside body remains at ambient temperature. So it's probably people may not have noticed it. It is an anti-scalding design. So whatever the water temperature, the body remains at the ambient. That's the beauty of this product.
All right.
Yes, Sandeep ji.
That's
You can
wonderful. Thank you. Can we go on to the next
Yeah,
one?
we can go to
Sure.
the next.
But meantime, I have a question for both Mr. Majan and
Yeah,
Mr.
sure.
Bhandare. What is it about? You must have noticed you have your product design is really evolving from nature and from everything around that you can find, including
Yeah.
technology. How have you noticed the customer accepting or appreciating such changes? I would like to know whether your earlier customers to now, what are the changes you have noticed?
I will answer this one as a simple example.
Yes.
People prefer to have farmhouses. So they feel like staying with the nature, staying with what is around. So when you design close to what they view around, there's a different feel altogether. More geometrical designs do attract people, but when you design something which is very much all around you, you have a different feel. It impacts your psychology, impacts your feel factor. And in fact, I did not mention at that point of time, if you are rightly, when Lily ma'am was mentioning about wellness and other thing, if you have pleasantly designed bathroom, at least during your bathing time, your age reduces by 2 or 4 years. You feel like that way. So that's the beauty of having, I'll call it organic and inorganic design. So that is the beauty of that.
Thank you. That's a real new, I think, a new perception. But
Sure.
meantime, can I also invite Lily to give your understanding and your experience about the consumer taste evolving over the time?
So yeah, definitely. I think, of course, as I was telling you, that the idea of privacy and luxury did evolve into nowadays, which is basically more about wellness. So these wellness zones are necessary because they give a human being a fine balance for
Right.
their, this fast-paced life. So having a wellness zone at your home is reaffirming to yourself that self-care is a necessity, and self-care is actually what is required these days. Now, talking about these wellness-focused designs, of course, I'll come to the bathrooms also, but they basically focus involving lighting, materials, air and sound quality, neutral color palettes, and biophilic design, which
Okay.
is close to greenery.
Okay.
And as I was saying, indoor space integration to outdoors. And nowadays, what bathrooms are requiring? The wellness bathrooms require not only to cleanse the skin, detox the body, relax the muscle, boost your immunity, and even oxygenate the body. So, as I'm sure Jaguar has also come up with a lot of these, fixtures and spa and sauna products, even their rain showers, which have these microfiltration technologies. Microfiltration technology, what does it do? It basically kills the waterborne germs. So
Okay.
these are all technologies that are already there. There are more technologies like UV filtration, which
Okay.
also makes it better, makes the water quality better.
Okay.
And then, of course, we go on to more personal and emotional quotient.
So we'll
In
talk about that, Lily, when we come to the wellness
Sure.
bathroom.
Of course, we'll come to that.
I'll invite Mr. Katare to show us what is
Right.
this gadget.
Yeah. Now coming to this design, that is IV6.
Mhm.
This is more of, I would say, a digital operated showering system.
Right.
It's a control panel. You just touch the control, and of course, this is connected with 6 fixtures. You can connect this unit with 6 different fixtures. You just touch the fixture from where you want the water, and the water will start from there. It is not only this. In this, you can even control the temperature, what you want. Because this can go up to maximum 40 degrees, 44 degrees to be precise, but 40 degrees is considered maximum in this, right? You can control the flow of water digitally.
Right.
That is, you can, if you want 14 liters, you want 16 liters, you want 12 liters, you can precisely control the flow of water from those fixtures.
Right.
And as Lily Madam said, you're more prone towards hygiene, right? These are having functions wherein you can do a hygiene flushing, by which the system itself is programmed. It will take the maximum hot water what is available, and it will clean all the internal pipelines, and then whatever you have as an output, it will be purely free from bacteria.
Right.
Right. So
Thank
this
you.
is and one more thing in this is, you can go in combination. See, as I said, there are 6 fixtures wherein you can connect. You can select one fixture which you want to use as a combination with other 5.
Right. So
You can have
Sandeep,
2
if I
flows
may
of water.
intervene over here. Sandeep, we are very keen to show our participants some other exciting products as well.
Right.
Since we are short of time, let's go through it.
So yeah, so this is again a Rainjoy, which is having 3 outlets, 4 outlets, and 5 outlets. So what are these outlets? One is your rain effect. Second is the mist effect.
Right.
Third is the column effect. Just a stream of water coming from the top. And the fourth one is the cascade effect. That is a single cascade or dual cascade. So
Right.
all these 5 you can get in one shower. Right?
That's
Now, next.
wow. This is the one I've been waiting
No.
for. Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
this is something which is called tumble rain. You know, in early stage, as Lily Madam was telling, in older days, they used to hang one bucket at the top and they used to have a chain. So you
Correct.
pull that chain and the water used to topple on your head and you used to take bath. So same thing we have bought. Instead of you doing anything, you just start the water, right? And the tumbling of the bucket happens on its own.
Right.
So there are no cartridges, nothing, but it is the design of throwing the water out from the bucket that has been designed on with the help of mechanical fulcrums. Right?
Okay.
I think we have any videos on this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm told yes. We can show that.
Right. So this is the tumble rain, and you have a regular stop wall which you can operate. The bucket fills and it topples. Again it goes back to its position, and then again it topples. So this thing continues. See.
I can only make an observation which is very personal to me, and that is a lot of the accessories or the fixtures that I see over here seem to study a human experience very closely, and especially for people in India like us, we are used to pouring buckets over our heads, and because perhaps you understand the customer so well, and the products that I see around are pertaining to that, I do think this is going to excite a lot of new millennial customers as well. So that's a great idea. And I would like to perhaps move through some of this really quickly because we have a lot of other things happening, plus a lot of questions coming up.
Yeah, sure.
So if you can just say one line on this.
Sandeep, I'll put that way. It is a heating machine which saves lot much of energy. I'll say roughly the energy consumption of a regular heater. If I talk about a water heater, it's a water heater. It is roughly 1/8 of a regular water heater. So there is a very, very high energy efficient
Right.
heating appliance. So we can move to next, no problem.
Right. Thank you. Okay.
These are sauna. The difference between I'll say it gives you a hot steam, not steam. I'll say it carries a hot air, and it enables you to open up your pores very well, which will further which releases all the accumulation in those pores, including fats and contamination. So you spend of 30 to 40 minutes in this gives you the fantastic wellness to your body. Yes, in terms of heating, we have volcanic rock heating, then we have infrared heating, we have carbon plates heating. So that is a kind, and it comes, normally these saunas are termed with number of seats, single seater, double seater, 4-seater. That is a configuration they're going for. So
Right.
yeah, we can move to the next if there's something. Yes, Sandeep, you can.
Yeah. These are few of the bathroom concepts, wherein within a small space, how efficiently we can, install or we can design all those products, like having a whirlpool system, a shower panel, and the regular basin and a WC, or having a sauna within a same plain bathroom. So it is not that, whirlpools or spas or saunas needs to be there. You require a special gym area. No, within the same bathroom, what you have, you can place those and make all these different designs, wherein
Right.
your bathroom becomes very lavish.
Right. Thank you. I think what we also notice is, oh, this is a wonderful. I would really like you to dwell a little bit on this, on colors in the
Yeah.
fixtures.
Yeah, this is more of tending towards going to the nature, wherein we have different colors which we can do. Normally, a faucet is with chrome. That is what we always know about. But we have developed technologies wherein we can have different color coatings done on the faucet.
Right.
Again, these can be antique type, not having all full chrome color, but having those effect, giving the faucet as an antique feature.
Right.
These are, now we are going with PVD coating. That is, there is a powder coating, there is a chrome coating, and with the latest technology which is coming up as PVD coating. So it is something like vaporizing the chrome and then adhering to the body of the faucet. So these are called as PVD coatings.
Correct.
Right? So these are the colors what we have currently.
So I was just wondering, with the kind of care you are taking for each element and each detailing, even in the faucet, besides of course many other things, this is really no less than jewelry. So I think some of your titles are quite right, saying they are tiara based, and I thought that was a very apt name. Can we get on to the next slide, because I'm trying to get, oh, this is a WC for a disabled person. If you could point out some features which could be seen.
So yes, definitely. We know that the generic designs of the WC for disabled involve a lot of handlebars that we can see in the left image. But yes, we know that now it is being developed more, and as we can see in the right, there are images which show that how the wash basin is integrated closer to the WC, and how it is we are trying to shrink the space, yet make it very easier for the disabled person to actually access the space and work in a small circumference. And yeah, so these are the new technologies which are still this one is of course has come around. We also have a similar technology for normal users, in which the water that you use in the wash basin can be flushed out through the WC. So that is a different technology, but yes, it conserves the water, because
Right.
you can reuse the water.
Right. So I'm going to try to rush to a little bit on the trends, because that is something
Sure.
what we all are waiting for.
Okay.
Can we show the next slide, please? So Lily, just as a kind of what is happening, I mean, there's so many developments happening, and perhaps we do know Mr. Mahajan and Mr. Katare can tell us whether trends play a main role in the way you design your collections and launch them in the market. So I would like first Lily ma'am to tell us what are the trends which are being talked about by interior designers, and then perhaps some reaction from Mr. Ajay Mahajan and Mr. Sandeep Katare.
Sure. So as we all know, trends do keep changing every year. So the major trends of this year have been the marbleized wallpapers. In fact, I have myself seen a lot of these varieties at Jagdish stores as well. We have these marbleized wallpapers in the bathrooms that are integrated with a waterproof layer. So that's why the wallpapers can be used. We are also getting into a lot of brass finishes in our accessories, and even the stands of the wash basins, the frames of the mirror. There is also a shift towards the framing of the mirrors, corrector frames, which speak out loudly that there is a mirror over there. If we can go to the next slide, please. There is also has been a shift to scallop and hexagon shaped tiles. Scallops though have been coming in even in the interiors in 2020. There have been a usage of a lot of scallop shapes even in interior wallpapers. So yes, we see them also happening here in interiors. interiors in bathroom. We also have tiles as wainscoting, as we can see in the right image on the right. So wainscoting is basically a partition that is held up till half height of the wall. So we also have these features in the interiors, but how they have come about in interiors of bathrooms is that people are using tiles, demarcating the half wall, and make it stand out in the interior. Can you please go on to the next slide? There has also been a shift to freestanding bathtubs and also black colored bathtubs. They have been becoming an integral part. And talking about black and muted tones, as we know, sustainability is also a very important trend of the season and of 2020. Travertine bathrooms and earthy tones, they are getting a lot much in vogue in this year. They have been. Can you please go on to the next slide? The flooring trends also, if I may add to that, tiles with elaborate designs are being used. We have also seen a surge in handmade tiles. You all must have seen that not only in interiors, in cafe interiors and other, retail interiors, but people are also using it inside their bathrooms. You have a lot of drama that is being added. And the materials that people are shifting to are porcelain tiles. People are shifting a lot to porcelain and ceramic tiles because as architects, we know that stone or marble is not a very successful, material as compared to tiles. So yes, this has been the trend of the 2020.
Right. So thank you very much. This is almost a whole different expertise by itself. So I am very sure a lot of our young participants or young designers perhaps may have ambition to even specialize in one particular area, and that is the bathrooms in any residence. And I am very sure bathrooms in any public spaces perhaps have many other things to be looked at. And today we are of course not covering that majorly, but we would talk about it in some other context later on. We are now moving to the question answer sessions. I'm going to just figure out whom can I ask these questions, and give me just 2 minutes to do that. And I'm going to come back to you. So, okay, I do have some questions. So if I may go ahead with the questions. One of the question is, why is a water softener essential in households? So would Mr. Mahajan or Mr. Katar?
Yeah, I'll answer, no problem.
Sure.
See, water contains calcium and magnesium and many other salts.
Mm-hmm.
And if we keep feeding untreated water, I prefer always giving an analogy or practical example. In some area, geographical areas, you leave water in a bowl, a metallic bowl, be it of aluminum or steel. In the morning, when the water dries out, you find a white color layer in that bowl, which you have to actually use a metallic scrubber to scratch out. Now, this is what a softener removes. If you don't remove it, it will deposit inside your pipelines. It will deposit inside the delicate machinery inside these jewels or the state-of-art faucets. And eventually it will spoil vacuum. So for that, one is that. And of course, this heavy salts onto your body, which dries out. And at times you'll find it all very, very something resembling as a pauper, because either you're not removed the soap properly or you're using too harder water. So water softener is very much required from that purpose. I'll answer that.
Thank you. I think these are technical understanding we all must have regarding, because that is what makes your bathroom much more efficient or long lasting and better quality. Are we looking at, there's a question about, do the design of the new faucets and fixtures that you showed us, and perhaps in future, would to help conserve water? Are they designed to help conserve water?
See, we in case you go to JACWA website, just to brief all the audience here, we have 3 brands, Artis, Jacquard and Esco. You go to any of the site, you will find along with the normal product, a GL product also, which talks about green. So green is basically low discharge of water, which is recommended by the authorities. What should be the minimum discharge? So those products are designed. What we call actually is we have flow restrictor in them. A flow restrictor, just for the understanding, you get flow restricted by literage, 2 liter, 3 liter. So a flow restrictor will never allow discharge of water beyond the literage mentioned on that. So that is so those are water conserving this thing. One. Second, we have aerator at every faucet at the mouth. We have a special mesh kind of device which mixes 30% of air and 70% of water, which gives you the same feeling as 100% of water, a soft feeling and less use of water. I'll put in a short span, I'll be able to spell that much. Thank you.
Right. So I do think there are solutions being worked around such a problem, and that shows sensitivity towards the problems that is faced by the planet Earth. Okay, there's a question from Sneh. She has a question for how can we get the CAD drawings of these products so that we can suggest them to our clients by incorporating them in plans and elevations.
Any other brand, simple, www.jacquard.com, www.artis.com. So you get the CAD drawings with the right dimensions and everything, angular and as well linears.
Okay, and Sneh is further asking, can you just say something about the whirlpools?
Word of?
Whirlpools.
Whirlpools.
Whirlpool.
I'm not very sure what she is looking forward. Whirlpools, basically what Lily ma'am has shown, but are further enhancement of those. We have either jets, water jet system or air or combination. So what these are basically what you call as they massage your body by either by water jets or by air bubble, air which comes out, hits your body and explodes. Those exploding bubbles massage your body. And we have combination also, which is air as well as water. Yes, of course, we are bringing a new one where we have miniature bubbles, what we call is milky. So those miniature bubbles, I'm sure some you would have, people would have seen if not gone. They're for your pedicure, they put your foot in the pond and the small fishes come and eat away those so those are miniature bubbles which are coming up, a new milky whirlpool. So these all are whirlpools basically. Basically, it creates a whirl in the water which massage your body.
Right. So it simulates an actual whirlpool and perhaps sensation to the skin.
Yeah, you may not find
body, which is immersed in that.
Your body starts floating.
Right. So there's a question from Richa for Lily ma'am. What is the latest type of flooring used in bathrooms? Could you please suggest that, Lily?
Sure. As I said, of course, the latest types of flooring, as I said, there are people also using vinyl flooring in the bathroom, but as a designer and as a conscious designer, I do not suggest using vinyl because though people say that it is, biodegradable, but we have seen large quantities of it being not healthily disposable. So yes, there are people who do use wooden also, but wooden flooring is something that is very, moisture absorbing, and it does look good and it is very high maintenance. So as I think Richa was asking, Richa, I would say that you should stick to porcelain and ceramic tiles for flooring. Also, there should be you should be using anti-skid tiles because the surfaces need to be easily you shouldn't slip on the surfaces. So do go for anti-skid versions of these ceramic and porcelain tiles as well. As I said already, that handmade tiles are also in vogue right now, and a lot of drama is created with the help of a lot of patent tiles, which are of course sold by all these renowned tile companies.
Right. So thank you, Lily. There'll be some more questions for you later on. Meanwhile, a question for either Mr. Ajayji or Sandeep. How practical is the automated smart WC in the Indian market? Would you be able to answer that?
See, when we talk about automation, it is not question of India or any other country. It is a question of affordability. And with happiness, I share that surplus money per strata is increasing gradually. So when you have more money, you want to have comfort. Simple. There's nothing, there's no great logic or so. There's nothing that we can't make those technologies. As I said, I use analogy. You look at number of automatic cars getting sold compared to the manual gear shift.
Right.
So people want comfort. So there is nothing which we are selling this WCs in very good numbers. People want those automated systems, of course, and they are able to afford it. So more the people who grow to the level of affordability, they will have those. So it's a successful product in Indian market, working very fine overall.
Perhaps another question which could be taken by you is, what is tankless water heating system? How does it help in energy conservation?
Yeah, so tankless basically, just for our understanding from technology, we increase the wattage of heaters to very high level. So simple point is, the moment the water enters, the heating is so high, it immediately gets hot. So you don't use any storage at all to heat the water. The entry and exit is always hot according to temperature.
Okay.
Now, what is the saving? In fact, when you go for a hot any geyser or so, you use an amount of water to heat, and some amount of water is left in the geyser which you may or may not use. So that's loss of energy. And what you are not used, next day when you come, it is normally we are going for 5-star or 4-star. Yes, that is dropping the energy loss, but you cannot remove energy loss 100%. So that energy loss is a loss, one. Secondly, the water staying in the tank, of course, corrodes, and that leads to many other things. So tankless, the moment you switch off, it's dry and that's it. So you save energy on that point.
Right.
That's a submission. Yeah, please.
Right. So one question for Lily. How can ventilation problem be solved for a bathroom with no windows? That's a question from Priyanka.
Sure.
Ventilation problem?
So yes, even if a bathroom is located far away from an external wall which has a window, it can still have a false ceiling which can, you know, have a exhaust which is, which pulls away the unpleasant smells from the bathroom and takes it away from the ducting. So the ducting is of course located above the false ceiling, and it can pull the air, the unpleasant air from above the area which has this foul smells, and they can be taken through ducting to an outward supply, or
Sure.
yeah.
Okay. A question to do with the technicality of plumbing. So does it make a difference if we finalize the fixtures of the bathrooms before finalizing the plumbing layouts? So technically, can you help us understand that?
It is always better to do that way, because every fixture has its own flow rates and discharge.
Okay.
So once you decide what you're going to put, you can always design your plumbing accordingly.
Right.
So a right designed plumbing will save on the water part as well as the cost part.
Right.
So that's
So another question, which is by Apurva, and it says, how practical is the bucket shower, as the water will stop again and again when the bucket throws out the water?
very rightly said. First and foremost, before I answer this, how practical, a bucket shower saves water, because when you go for a spray kind of a water, rain or mist or other, your 20 to 30% water falls beyond your body. in a bucket, it falls just bang on the object, one. Second, in terms of this bucket getting empty and refilling, there's an adjustment given for the frequency of bucket tumbling. So according to that adjustment, every, if I'm not mistaken, 3 to 4 seconds you can get a tumble. That's a least tumbling effect also you can go for. So it is practically becomes for somebody as a regular gush of water coming out. So that's the kind of thing. Yes, it's a different experience. People need to understand this, and then it works. It works fantastically well for as far as the breathing is concerned.
Right. There's another technical question. When you get a bathtub with jets, do you have to get extra plumbing lines put on, or do you just need the original pipelines?
For any wellness product, you only require, I'm not saying bathtub only, any wellness product, you require normal plumbing line. That's all. Nothing.
Okay. Another question.
Be it Whirlpool, Spa, or anything, normal plumbing lines.
Right. So a question specifically to you. Arpita is asking whether Tiara is available in Chandigarh market.
Yes, of course, it is available. We have our distributor, Messrs. Jain, or there are the dealer by name Mr. Kohli. So sorry, I'll not be able to tell which sector or so. I believe it is sector 7 or so, Messrs. Jain. So there are many dealers over there. So you walk in and you'll be able to.
Right. So,
otherwise, you can go to our orientation center. It is next to Fab India, or previously there was a Canada embassy there. Now that embassy has shifted, and you can go and you first experience this product, then you ask for the dealer, they'll give you entire details.
right. Priyanka is a question for Lily ma'am about the Jaguar products aligning with the bathroom having water pressure problems. So in your experience, Lily ma'am, or otherwise, I mean, I would invite Ajayji and Sandeep to also answer this. So what are the best ways to solve the problem of water seepage? That's a separate problem. Okay, this is about low water pressure. So does Jaguar products, or perhaps are they designed to really handle the water pressure?
I'll simply put, forget about Jaguar or any product. It will have a minimum requirement of water pressure. Mm-hmm. And for some constraint, because of which the water pressure cannot be delivered. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm staying on the top floor. Beyond that, where I'll go to the sky, I can't. Mm-hmm. So there are alternates available today. There you have fantastic pressure pumps available, which can set as per your fixture, they can deliver the pressure required. So these are the installation available. And these are available for your commercial as well as domestic use. So that's.
I agree. They are called they are even called pressure pumps or booster pumps, which can be used, and they equalize the pressure.
Yeah.
So for any kind of fixture, you can use them.
Right. Okay. A question from Sneh. What is the difference between designing a bathroom for a personal residence and for a commercial place? Lily, would you be able to answer that?
Could you repeat that question? What are the...
What is the difference between designing a bathroom for a residence and for a commercial place?
Okay, so sure. What are the main features that differentiate both of them are, firstly, of course, for a residential, it's more of a private space, and for the commercial aspect, you do look at a lot of, privacy. More privacy is needed. Though in the residential, you need the privacy from, privacy is also there, but there are different circulation patterns also that we need to note comparatively. You can personalize the residential bathrooms in a different way as compared to personalizing the themes and even the other products and accessories that come in a commercial bathroom. Overall, it largely depends on the client. I have seen even clients of MNCs giving their employees a very homely, not a very homely, but a nice atmosphere, hygienic atmosphere for their employees. So it ultimately comes down to what a client also demands. But yes, considering the major differences, it will be the circulation and the privacy which is required more. As in, in public bathrooms, you cannot use glass, glass, your glass partition walls between the, WCs, but you can use them in your personal bathrooms.
Right. So we really have many more questions, and as I promised earlier, I'm going to request Mahajan and Mr. Sandeep Katare to later on just put a few words to answer these many questions. But a final word from any one of you. Mr. Mahajan, do you have some final words to say?
Okay, I'll have two statements. First and foremost, there's a book called by Autobiography of Lee Iacocca. He's a CEO of Crystal Corporation.
Yes.
Now, in that it's mentioned that you should, his father says that you should be in a business or should work for a business which keeps running, be it peace or war. So bathroom is a space which will require your, that business will be always there, whether it's a peace or war. So you're in the right place.
Thank you. This is really a wise advice. So those of you who are aiming to do the interiors for tall buildings and perhaps villas, do remember the bathroom space will always be needed no matter what and where, in both war and peace at all times.
And second point is, we started from the word of invention. In 19th century, 20th is a word of commotion, and we are switching over to frustration.
Oh.
There's a migration, and that's its effect also. Now, this is the only place where an individual gets peace, talks to himself, talks to herself. And he'll not only look forward for the bathing or nature calls, uses. It is how I can get recharged, rejuvenated. So more people are ready to spend money if they are delivered. So they are in the right space. The business will never end. And the more they discover, the more they innovate, they'll be always growing. And we all wish them all the best. Nani ma'am, from you, that's from my side.
Thank you. And thank you for, with your years of experience, we know you are really speaking from an insight which is being shared with everybody today. And I'd like to now thank all our speakers, Mr. Ajay Mahajan, Mr. Sandeep Katare, and Professor Lily Tandon. You have really shared everything possible, all your insights. And I would like to thank the participants for being so involved with what we are doing. You are asking us lots of questions, and I hope we are able to answer as many as possible. So I invite you once again for our next webinar, which is going to be held in the second week, in the second Thursday from now on. Look forward to the announcement and look forward to the topic that we are bringing you. But for today, let me thank all our speakers. Thank you once again from the bottom of my heart. So,
our pleasure too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Take care. All the best to all. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.